send you this recording either by tonight or tomorrow. It depends on how fast my upload speed is, but we'll see how it goes.
Oh, awesome.
All right. So
Well, cool.
what got you interested in coaching?
So I started I didn't even realize that Overwatch coaching as a concept existed until last year. Because until probably a year before last, I was a very casual player. And then I learned that the Overwatch League was a thing because I was bartending at the time.
Nice.
And I saw one of the league matches on TV, and I was like, "What, dude? I play that."
There you go.
So then that kind of put the idea in my head of oh, I can take this as a serious hobby because I really enjoy like learning something really in depth. And I fell in love with Overwatch the moment I started playing. So I figured the more chances I have to really pursue that passion, why not?
Sure. Okay, makes sense. Now, you've been playing for a while, it sounds like.
Yeah.
When did you start playing?
I started playing in, I think, 2018 or so. It was shortly after the Moira release.
Okay. And you still kept playing even after the
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you are a DPS player, but
Yeah. Well,
I'm sure
right now I am.
Okay, but that's what I was going to ask. What got you started on that path? What roles have you played? What heroes have you mained? And just break me down the full past.
Sure. Yeah. Let me. I have a list here somewhere.
Sure. Everybody's got a pass. I don't know many people who've woke up one day. I'm gonna play Overwatch. I'm gonna one trick Torbjorn, and they stick with it.
Right. Yeah. No. So one of my very good friends at the time was playing Overwatch, and they were just talking about it all the time. So I was like, okay, let me just check it out, see what it is. And this was on console. This was back on PS4. So I got the game and I started playing, and I was like, oh, this is. I didn't realize that didn't realize it at the time, but it's very addictive.
Yes.
Is what it is. So I just started playing, and I just played more and more and more. My favorite era was probably Goats. When I was playing Lucio and Zen during Goats. And I peaked 3100, and then I don't know. I didn't really keep track of rank. I just I saw the shiny diamond logo, and I was like, oh,
It was super cool.
I'm a peak 3100 player.
You're
Let's
officially
go.
good at the game.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, good at the game. And then after Roll Q was introduced, I just kind of hero hopped for until currently. I've gone through Mora, Lucio, Zen, Brig, Hanzo, Widow, Tracer, Sombra, Sim, Bastion, Mei, Pharah. Oh, it's still going. Torb, Zarya, Hog, Sig, Monkey, Ryan, Doom when he was a DPS, and the Horse.
But not Bastion.
Yeah, a little bit of Bastion.
Okay, so I'm able to keep. I respect that decision. Okay,
yeah.
So fair enough. Now, what make a lot of people hero hop, right? I mean, I played all three roles, but I would say if I had to, looking at my career profile really fast here, if I had to really say heroes that I quote unquote mained 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I would say any hero legitimately mained was only around 5-ish for me. Where there's a handful of heroes that I would say the Sigmas and the Meis and the Orissas that I'm pretty decent at, even though I don't have a lot of hours in. But sound like you've done a lot more than that. You've been a jack of all trades. Why do you think that is?
Absolutely, yeah. Because one of my before Roll Q, I used to love filling in the team comp. If everyone was playing Dive, but no one played the Zen, or if no one played the Diva, or if we were playing Double Bubble, no one played the Zarya, I'd be like, I got it. That was yeah, that before roll queue, that was one of my favorite things about Overwatch
That
is
makes
being
sense.
able to fill all those roles.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Now, a lot of people see that as a downside, but you saw that as an upside. Was that just because you enjoyed playing all the different heroes, or did you enjoy filling the team's needs, or a little bit of both?
I mean, it's a little bit of everything. I feel like I'm much more a game sense oriented player rather than a mechanics or aim based player. I like to think a lot. Um, so if thinking and being a little bit smarter can give me an advantage, then why not?
Right, right. Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, so leveraging that just through understanding the game, not through just the mechanics of whatever hero you're maining at the time.
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
Now, I assume that that's evolved over time. So give me the recent history. Let's say since
Yeah.
Overwatch 2.
So since Overwatch 2, um, did I start? I started, I think I was still in my tank era. So at the end of Overwatch 1, I was a stinky hog main, and I've
Ugh.
dropped that. I know, I know, I know,
Hog is
I know.
really satisfying though. Hook is like
Oh,
maybe
dude.
second or third most satisfying thing in the game to land. Up there with like
Yeah,
Sleep Dart, a Juicy Deflect. I'm not really sure,
yep,
but yeah, I got you.
yep, yep. And then he, w- like, I just felt bad playing him with only one tank. Because it just felt cheap, and I don't want to play the cheap stuff. Cause like I want to challenge myself, you know what I mean. So
Mm-hmm.
if it's just like press shift and win, that's not interesting.
Right.
It may be satisfying for a little bit, but not sustainable long term.
Right.
So
The
I
junk
went
food of
back.
Overwatch.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I went back to like Zarya, Diva, Monkey, Orisa. Um, and that was fine for a little while, but uh, what really got me into DPS was SVB's playing Sombra for a week and then getting the
It's a
coaching
great
with
video.
Fitzy and oh, dude, so good. I saw that video and I was like, you know what? I'll just play. My intention was to play one game of DPS just to, see how the hero felt. Um, and I don't remember exactly what happened, but someone on the other team got very upset and started flaming me, and I was like, "Oh, I can do that." And people get really mad and have these like reactions in match chat, and I'm just like sitting here chilling, and it's just so satisfying to cause other people that like anguish over a silly video game.
Right. Well, I mean, we'll give you some credit. It's nice feeling like you have impact.
Yeah, 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 it's the impact. It's like knowing that I had so much impact that it affected them emotionally.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
got you. I got you
yeah,
with
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And so that was what, a couple months ago, right?
That was at the beginning of last season, so season 3. I
Mm-hmm.
think we're in
Mm-hmm.
4
Okay.
now. So
Yeah.
yeah, beginning of season 3.
Okay. And so what DPS did you settle on? It sounds Tracer as of the form, but it's been
Yeah,
about a month.
so let me check my career profile for last season. So last season I have 26 hours of Tracer, 21 hours of Sombra, and then a couple hours of like some flex Q when
Mm-hmm.
I was just, chilling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's mostly Tracer Sombra, and then this season it's almost exclusively Tracer.
Okay. I like those hours. I like the breakup there of it, one or two heroes specialty. The hours
Mhm,
sound pretty good as
mhm.
well.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I realized that it's just so much easier to learn a hero if you only play that hero.
I agree.
It's just I like I you know y- people always say just playing one hero is the best way to climb or best way to learn a hero, whatever. And I was like, yeah, but one tricks, wah.
Right.
And then I started only playing one hero, and I was like, oh, I get it. I
Hmm.
get it.
And I think they've done a good job of balancing the game around it as well. Like, I don't think the balance is good holistically as a whole, but if you look at the individual heroes, even heroes like Symmetra, some of the Bastion and Orisa reworks, they've given these heroes that are very one-dimensional a little bit of extra dimension too, right? So that they're
Absolutely.
right, and
Absolutely.
that allows you to one-trick them and to not be a massive liability, right? A Bastion can move himself around now. A Bastion can do some SMG, you know. Orisa is not just a stand-in shield tank anymore, right? So I think that's something that's helpful. So yeah, I agree. And obviously Tracer is unquestionably, in my mind, the best hero in the game to one trick. It has been for many years.
She's so versatile. It's great.
She's almost never bad, and even when she's bad, it's more of a skill issue. Like the infinite skill ceiling with the hero is just crazy.
Just get good.
Right. So you stuck with the Tracer. Let's look through the forum here. So what do you hope to get out of the session? Gain a better understanding of learning, analyzing, and practice, and building practice habits. Talk about strategies for problem solving in the game. Okay. Anything additional you'd like to spell out? No. Previous flex player. Okay. Long-term, short-term goals in Overwatch. Short-term masters. Long-term, how to learn and practice using the game. Find efficient and fun ways to encourage tilt. Okay. It took me a second to realize what you just said there. That's great.
Yeah. Okay. No, not my tilt. Not my tilt.
Yeah. I got you. Okay. So what is your training schedule looking like right now? Obviously, how much do you play on average per day, per week?
Well, I think crunch some numbers on it because I don't, I'm almost 30. I have, Overwatch is a hobby. I got other stuff to, right? Yeah. But I think on average, I would say, an hour and a half a day is a conservative estimate.
Okay. I like those numbers.
Yeah, somewhere about that.
I like those numbers. We can work with an hour and a half per day. Where are you rank wise right now?
I just got to Plat 5.
Plat 5, okay. Yep. Yeah, so even if we just say Plat 4, 3, 2, 1, whatever, we can work with that. 100% can work with that with an hour and a half per day. Okay, let's go deeper in terms of how that hour and a half is spent. Let's say minimum per day, conservative estimate. How is that spent?
So, how it's spent kind of depends on how much time I have that particular day. If I only I try to get at least some Overwatch time every day. No, like not necessarily a comp game, but maybe, I just hop into Vaxta for 10 minutes or something and practice pulses, or I play a couple games of deathmatch or something like that. But my ideal practice session that I try to do about once a week is warm up with some chess, some bullet chess, and 5-minute to get kind of the brain going. IO Stux for a bit of Vaxta for like pulses and one clips and stuff like that. About 2 games of deathmatch, and then break for a little bit, do some exercise, go for a run, have a snack, drink some water, and then come back to the PC and then kind of check in with myself, am I physically warm, am I mentally warm, and then usually I'm good, so I jump into comp, and then if I take breaks every about an hour, I can have about 2 hours of game time.
Okay.
In addition to that warm up.
Okay, makes sense. So that sounds like you have a pretty solid grasp of what you're trying to aim for, and keeping yourself warm and getting your mechanics trained a little bit as well, spend some time in rank, taking short breaks as well. The only thing I might add to try is maybe cut down a little bit on the warm-up time, because you are doing the chess, you're doing the Vaxta, the IO Stux, and 2 death matches. probably don't need that much time to warm up. You could probably be a little bit more efficient, even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes shorter. I think that will allow you to get just a little bit faster, a little bit more efficient. Just something to aim for. I think what you're doing now is fine. And because warm up is so personal, I don't want to tell you what to do and what not to do, but I would encourage experimenting with that a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely something to play along with.
Okay, perfect. Sure. Let's keep going here. So that sounds fine. If we're able to get 4 or 5 games per day, even 3 to 4, if they're really, really hyper focused on what you need to practice, then I think improving, especially when we give you some goals to improve at, is totally reasonable. Make sense?
Cool. Yep.
Now, moving on from there, you're playing Tracer, warm-up is good, training time is good enough. What do you feel is holding you back from improving? As of a month ago, you said time, but if you're able to get an hour and a half a day, that's okay. So elaborate.
I was just like having scheduling issues because there's a bunch of things that there's a lot of kind of unpredictability going on.
Yes.
But that has, other life things have settled now.
Good. So if you'd say now, what's holding you back from improving? Right. Or maybe you are improving, maybe there's nothing.
I mean, one thing that I notice in my games a lot is I forget to use cover when I blink. So like peek out of cover and then go to try to take a duel or poke out a squishy or whatever.
Yes.
And I'll blink from cover, out of cover, and then I realize that about 3 seconds later, and I'm like, oh shit, I have to go find cover, and then I have to completely ditch the duel or whatever.
Right.
Or I ignore that and feed.
Right. So it's either screwing you up or it's being ignored and costing you.
Yeah. So either way, it's not great.
Okay.
And then kind of along with those issues with target focus and target priority, I notice I get distracted a lot. Like if I'm not 100% dialed in, then I'll just blink around shooting whoever's in front of me. So those are the target priority, focus, and cover.
Okay. Well, we'll look at those obviously in detail in the actual review. Do you have any other questions or anything else you want to go over?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, let's do this. Let me get the stream on Discord going here. All right, and you are here, Esperanza. Volume good for you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Alrighty, let's take a look. So, high risk, high reward composition for them. Lots of targets to assassinate, but also a lot of targets that can one-shot you. So that's something I like the setup on the flank here. Gonna need to pay very careful attention to our Ball and Reaper, and then trying to follow up off of them as best as we possibly can. So I do think you're a little late here. Would have preferred you to get here a little bit more urgency, especially once you saw your Ball and Reaper start to engage. Okay, they're looking for you. Now this is pretty cute. You know, you see the Hanzo and the Ana start to give you attention, so you're like, well, you guys are too far away, so I'm going to avoid you and just shoot the tank. I think this is okay. Wrap around behind. Honestly, looking pretty good so far. I like how you're migrating and moving from cover to cover. Because the thing that you mentioned with Tracer is you said playing cover, right? I think the thing with whenever you're playing a very mobile hero, perfect cover usage, even when you're playing a hero like a Zenyatta, is impossible. What's more important is finding the cover when it's necessary. And for example, right now, you know it's necessary.
It's pretty necessary.
Yeah, it sure is, right?
It's not all this good.
Well, okay, well that's good. I didn't assume so, but I do want to point out when it's done well, and this has been done very well. Now, why is cover important for a Tracer?
It's very easy to die.
Okay.
And cover is
same thing for any hero, right?
Yep. Cover means that you don't have to worry about your health unless there's someone behind the cover with you.
Now, there's one other reason why cover is important for Tracer, and I actually just worked with the Tracer prior to this review where we talked a lot about this. And what cover does is unique to flankers and dive heroes is it allows you to hold aggressive positions for longer. Now that does apply to Zenyatta's and Ana's and things like that too, but for you it's more important because think about it this way. What is the enemy team very much tunneled on right now? You see their outlines through the wall.
Yeah. Oh, they're looking at me.
They're looking at you. So then how can your team capitalize?
They could...
There's a million ways, right?
I mean, they could just press W.
They could do anything they want, right?
And shoot anything.
You've got 2 for 1 on you. So what's your operation right now? What's your goal?
Right now is probably just to keep pressure on the Ana and Hanzo.
And survive.
And survive. Yep.
Because the longer you're back here, the more of an advantage that your team gets.
Right.
That's why cover is so important for flankers, is because it's not just about, oh, you need to survive. Your very survival on a flank is a thorn in the side of the enemy team. Now, if this Ana and Hanzo ignore you, you need to go back and pressure them out and bait their attention to the cover and corner and flank again. But like, if you can live here for an extra second or two before you have to burn recall because you are using this corner right here, that is unbelievably important for your team.
Gotcha.
Here's your context, right? How much longer is this Mercy or this Orisa going to survive without support?
Oh,
you know,
they're not.
If you're able to survive back here an extra second or two because you've used this wall, you're going to win this fight off of this.
Wow.
Let's see.
Yeah.
This is really good. And see, the funny thing is this is your first mistake.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily leaving cover. I mean, that's obviously bad. But you're on the flank.
I should have stayed on the Hanzo.
Just keep them busy, right? Are you going to kill both those targets? No. You don't need to, though. You don't need to. Exactly. Right. And you've actually, the ironic thing is that by running away from them, you've actually increased your chances of dying to them. Because
now they're looking at my team too.
And you could, well, not only that, but can you see them?
No.
Can they see you?
I have no idea what they're looking at. Yes.
Right. They can see you. Exactly. They can see you. Right there. That's what you're concerned about. If you have a threat, don't turn your back on the threat. Either hide from the threat or face the threat. Because I appreciate the attention on the Mercy, but the Ana and Hanzo threat is just as good. That's just as good damage for you, right? This isn't like this is like a Moira or Lucio that you have to run away from. It's an Ana Hanzo. These are good targets to distract. So hold the angle.
Yeah, that's I feel like I have difficulty recognizing like when I need to just keep holding an angle or when I need to leave that to go for kills or
what I would start to do is start to recognize how many people are giving you attention and then count that as victories. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Count the pawns that are chasing you around the map. And if you're like, well, I'm 1 pawn and I've got 2 pawns on me, the longer that you keep that up during a fight, right? There is a fight. It don't just not any time, but when a fight is actually happening, well, a fight's happening, right? Then you're winning, right? Now, you would like to prioritize the pawns that you are more likely to distract or more likely to kill, or both, right? But Ana and Hanzo fit that bill too. So that's definitely something that will come with time. You know, you're still relatively new to Tracer, but I think you started off this, like the fact that your team has this much space right now and it will soon be pushing robot is all you. You did a great job.
Wow. Okay, cool.
I also like the fact that you're paying attention to your ball as well. Unfortunately, your ball overextends. Again here, do you see the forcing here? And this is, I'm laughing inside because this is exactly what I was talking about with the previous Tracer player. What do you need to do here?
Just chill.
Just chill. Just shoot the Ana. You got great cover. You got a health pack. And the thing is,
she's not looking at me. She's scoped in.
Right.
She's leaving.
Now you're in danger, and also you've used the blink, right?
All I had to do was walk to the right and go behind that pillar there.
Unfortunate. It's a good try. Unfortunate. Okay, let's keep going. So, lots of good things, lots of bad things. We'll keep watching. Now, this one is tricky. I appreciate your hesitancy because you're like, Hanzo.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, yeah, I saw the Hanzo, and I also didn't want to take the same angle as my Reaper.
Right. It's scary here. So I actually think what you're doing here is very reasonable. Obviously, it's a tank, and you're like, ugh. But maybe from here, what could you do?
Pressure the Ana.
You pressure the Ana. Where's the angle that you could take here? Because this is just front line.
I probably want to blink in that hallway to the left.
Oh, yes.
I think that's what I do.
Yes. So you go in here, you wrap around, you set up an angle, and then again, you're just playing the duel. You're the best 1v1 hero in the game, right? So yes, love to see it. Now, this is called chasing. And once again, this is exactly what I spoke about with the previous Tracer. You might even learn something from watching that review, by the way. It will be uploaded in Spylo 2 along with yours tomorrow. So yeah, anyway. This is when you give up your angle and run into the middle of the enemy team, but there's a reason why you do that. Why?
Because I can kill the Ana.
Because she's 1 HP. Is it worth it right now? Yes, it is.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
it's not always worth it, but it sometimes is. For example, if we rewind to this position here, and let's say you see that the Mercy is 1 HP right here, would it be okay to leave the Ana Hanzo briefly? Maybe, right? At least there would be a reason for it. The term that I used for the previous student was cashing in, right? You're going to cash in for here. Yes. And because you have... Oop, just a little slow on the recall. I think for you, this is like a little bit of your target priority here. Where what? No. Mercy and Valk, not a priority target for you.
Mercy. Yep.
So from you, blink out, control the Hanzo, look for your threats. Because remember, you are still in the middle of the enemy team, not where you want to be. You had to get there to finish the Ana, totally fine with it, but you can't stay here. Okay, let's keep going. You have any questions so far?
No, this is all good.
All right, just for fun. Okay. Anyway.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
It happens.
That's good.
Happens to the best of us. Alrighty. Set it up. No wasting time. Good timing here. Good angle. Good shots. I like the fact that we're going. You start to go for the flank, but then you see the Mercy, and you're like, oh nope, I'm going right back. Right? It's good. Nice job. Get her. I'm even noticing a little bit of are you familiar with the term trigger discipline?
Yes.
I'm seeing some of it here, right? I've seen it.
Yeah, I've practiced that.
It's showing, right? You miss all your shots, then you stop, and you reset your crosshair. That was good. Not bad. It's a great way to practice your mechanics. Love to see it.
Nice.
All right.
Okay, so with trigger discipline specifically, is there any like specific kind of warm up that you do, or
no?
Just being intentional with aim and
that's it.
When you click. Okay, cool.
What you can do though is, especially because you have such an extensive warm-up schedule, is you can practice your trigger discipline in your warm-up.
Yeah, that's usually what I do on days.
It's a good thing to do. I think pulse bombs and trigger discipline, even your blink movement, your 80-80 strafing, if you practice that as well. If you spam jump, for example, that was my habit when I was playing flex support. Any like mechanical habits, maybe crosshair placement, the best place to practice those is in deathmatch or your aim training. That's what I would recommend. So if you're like, I want to practice some trigger discipline this week, best way to do this is in your warm-up, so then when you get into the ranked games, you can focus on more game-specific stuff.
Sure.
Right, because you don't have to think about, well, you can, but you don't have to think about your timing and the angle you're taking or your recall management as much in deathmatch. So you have mental space freed up to focus only on mechanical aspects.
Gotcha.
Now, if your trigger discipline is really bad, I might have you practice it in ranked too. But just that's generally what I would approach.
Okay.
Very nice angle. Very nice timing. Following up off of your ball. Very nice target. Obviously, I'm a little concerned about the Mei from spawn, but I think you're good to go. Good. Nice. Got the little the melee in there too. Now you gotta get out of here, I think. Yeah. You're good though. You can just blink out if you need to. They're not pushing you though, so maybe you just stay.
Yeah. No, I didn't. Yeah. I didn't get pushed, so
So you were waiting for them to push you, so you could just blink out this way, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, either that or I was going to jump on the bench and blink over the top behind.
Like here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Yeah. Nice shot. Okay. Good. Nice. Look at you go. Nice. Keep going.
Eventually they'll swap to Tracer, and I think that's about when it starts.
Yeah. Now, this is a tough one, right? Good little bit of trigger discipline there. You don't finish the kill. Maybe blink melee there would have been your friend, but maybe not something that you've practiced at enough. You blink in, but unfortunately, because you've quote-unquote cashed in a bad position after it's too late now.
I committed.
It's probably now. Here's what I will say: after this recall, what's the priority now?
Safety
and pressure, right? Just keep shooting. You're not going to get the kill anymore. So what are you playing for? Playing for a kill? No. Playing for a distraction.
Take one of the high grounds and make them look at something else.
Just keep him busy. Keep him busy. Because you're still getting value here. This is a 2v3 right now. Now, your team did get picked off, but there is a very high chance that one of your supports or DPS on the other side of the thing is going to actually do something. Okay, grab the Mega, set back up again. Let's see what we got. So, I think this is because you have Pulse Bomb.
Yes. Yeah, I saw the Hanzo, and I didn't see anyone in the like 10 feet around him, so I was like, he's alone. Little did I know the whole team was right there.
You gotta keep focus on. You gotta keep attention on your timing here. Now your ball is shooting the Torbjorn a little bit here, but you remember with Tracer, it's generally better to be late. This isn't a bad attempt for Pulse Bomb, but you have to be very careful here, right?
Yeah.
The chances of you landing this Pulse Bomb successfully now are so much higher. Why?
Oh, yeah, because the ball's in, they're looking at the ball, they're reacting to the ball, the tree's going up, there's a lot of stuff going on.
You need to capitalize off of that, right? Yeah. That's very important that you're not leading the charge as Tracer, even though you're very fast, even though you do have some tankiness with your blinks and recall. You don't want to be that guy. Now, you're not always going to be playing with the ball, but if this was a Sigma playing here, you would want your Sigma to start shooting, or your Rissa to start shooting, or your Reinhardt to go in, or your Hog to flank around and look for a hook on the back line, right? You need to use your tank's distraction to set up your own plays. Your timing so far has been decent, but it's not been perfect, and I think this has been the first example where it's been just outright bad. Okay. Because obviously now, not only did it cost you your Pulse Bomb, not only did it cost you some blinks, but now you don't have your recall, and so you're not even really in a position to where you can play very aggressively, and you should want to.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna win the fight, but obviously we're all about finding.
I mean,
habits.
I only didn't die because we had Deet there.
Right. And I want to see what habits that we can fix that won't win this game or next game, but will over the course of 10, 15, 20, 100 games will be the right direction for you.
I mean, I'm not really concerned with winning games or climbing. I just want to play better.
Makes sense.
Will hopefully turn out to be winning, but
You know,
whatever.
All right, so this fight's lost. You were a little late to the party, but it happens. I would just get out here. Yeah, okay. Gonna wrap around far. Wait for your Reaper, so your Reaper's in, you go in. I think this is reasonable. We say tank because usually it's the tank that we're waiting for, but if, like, let's put it this way. You know what you did with your Pulse Bomb, right? You trolled.
Yeah.
It would have been nice if your Reaper had been able there to help you with that, right? If he sees you feeding, he tries to help you, okay? So if you see your Reaper feeding here, I don't have as much of a problem you trying to help him, right?
Now, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, well, he's probably going to die, so maybe I can make something happen.
Right. Now, coincidentally, do you want to guess why Reaper's feeding here? He's 98%. He's making the same mistake you were doing. He really wants that ultimate so badly.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what happens here. I want to see how you died. Was it just a goofy mistake? Watch this again. Oh, she was AFK. That's why you went for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think you recall a little slow here. And again, you're in the middle of the enemy team, and yeah, it's whatever. Okay, unfortunate. I think right's gonna be your best angle. Yeah. Gotta be sneaky here. You gotta wait for that ball. Okay, ball's in. You're late. Oh no! You gotta go. You gotta sit here and listen, you know, and then go. Now they actually start to push you, but your ball is in, and you are not problematic, right? We want you to be half a second or 1 second late, not 10 seconds late. That was that. It actually ends up working out almost perfectly, but it was a little bit sketch because we want them to be distracted by your ball, not balls leaving and or dying, and then you go in, right? We don't want to give them sequential focus where they can focus ball, then focus you, and then focus ball again. It should be ball tracer, right? That's what we want.
Okay.
Good try. Doesn't end up landing. Nice. Easy. This is good. You honestly could have C9'd robot, but I actually think this is probably better. Just play it safe. Okay. Holy crap, dude. That wasn't even easy. Like, this guy was moving around. Mechanics are better than mine.
Thank you.
Nice. That's not much of a compliment. I mean, being better than my mechanics isn't saying a lot, but you know, it's still pretty good, you know.
Oh yeah. I mean, hey, I'll take any compliment I can get.
Good timing there. Good timing. Get her. Jeez.
I know.
This is a legit one clip. Holy cow, man. All right, setting up in the flank again. Nice job.
Yeah, I think this is that kill on the tracer got my ego going, and then I was like, oh, I'm just better. I don't have to be safe.
Yeah, try and lead it through a fall. That's how it happens. Now let's be specific about what goes down the toilet here, because it's pretty obvious. Now, especially something that we've already talked about. You see it?
Dude, this is like the exact same thing that happened. What, 2 fights ago or something like that? When the Reaper was there.
The angle's perfect. The angle's perfect, but wait.
I just need to chill.
Right. Yeah. Wait. Use the ball. Ball is so annoying. The irony is that, you know, at your rank, you might have people complaining about a lack of shield tank, right? But he causes so much chaos that your DPS and supports can do whatever you want, right? So the angle here is perfect. The target is perfect. You got pulse bomb. What's up?
I got my kids here.
Yeah, sure. Give it a second. Sure, that's fine. No problem. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We have retail patch notes that are out that I'm desperately not trying to look at. I want to look at these patch notes so badly, but I'm just tearing my eyes away. I want to look at these patch notes, but I gotta look at them on the stream. I'm hearing Junker Queen buff. Oh. I hope I saw something. I don't want to spoil it for myself. Oh. I'm so excited. I'm going to be looking at patch notes. Checking out the Boston versus Vancouver match. Maybe we'll check out this new Star Watch event as well. Oh, I'm so excited, guys. I can't even look. I want to watch this so badly. I can't even check Twitter because everyone's like talking about it. I heard something about on it, and I'm like, I heard Junker Queen got a big buff, which is interesting to me. I don't necessarily have a problem for it. I think Junker Queen deserves her time to shine, especially if it's something not related to her shout. Let's talk about something that I don't think gets talked about a lot. I think one of the best things about about being involved in self-employment is that there's a lot of pressure and a lot of stress to perform well because you don't have the fallback of, you know, salary. But one of the things I'm really grateful for is a feeling of ownership of like, whatever time that I'm able to put in is something I get rewarded for. Now that's not always how it starts. It took a long time for me to feel like I was getting the return on investment for the amount of time that I had. And it requires a lot of investment before you get anything. And that can be very frustrating. But at least with where I'm at right now and have been for like the last 6 months, it's been very rewarding for me to be able to put time in and feel like, whether it's in the quality of my YouTube channel or the TikToks I'm doing, or the improving my own coaching or my communication or my understanding of the game, or little UI buffs here and there, and cleaning up my Discord and coming up with a cool idea or making connections, it feels like I'm able to progress. And it feels like I'm being competitive with what I'm doing. Like, to me, competition is not about beating somebody so much as it is about having the opportunity to not be forced to, but to be encouraged to apply yourself and to achieve greater goals. I enjoy competition, and I appreciate my competitors in just even the coaching scene, because they're what drive me to do better. And without them, I wouldn't feel necessarily the same sort of drive to do better. And I would be missing the satisfaction, not out of beating them, but about beating myself and doing better than I was before. And that to me is the most satisfying thing about this job. I love competition. I think, ironically, one of the reasons why I don't know that I would ever come back to the league again is that I'm one of the things about what I'm doing right now that's fun is that while my content is around coaching, a lot of my coaching is around content, right? And so the content is like where I'm the competitor, right? The ideas and the cool way of delivering things, I want to be the best that I can be, right? And that's where I get coaching. It's not about a result in terms of win or a loss, but it's about performing the best way that I can at what I'm doing, and combining that while also helping other people to actually do and accomplish real life things, not just a better rank. That's where like you get the beautiful marriage of like not only my own goals and my own things I'm doing well with, but I'm also helping other people do the exact same thing. And that is really, really satisfying. I really, really enjoy my job. It's the best job I've ever had. Best job I've ever had. And that's saying something, because I've had some pretty darn cool jobs. A close second would be the MMA coaching with working with the kids. But this has been a great job here. I'm so tempted to look at these patch notes. I will not do it though. I will absolutely not do it. I'm gonna check a few messages, I guess, while we're waiting. Somebody sent me a message. Sekiro 2 looks really good. No way there's a real Sekiro 2. Am I being baited? I'm being baited. I love this game so much. I should probably mute this because I don't know what the status of the copyright music is going to be. Whoa! Makiri counter for the win. Something's very satisfying about this game. Honestly, I found this game very relaxing. Definitely intense at points and times, but because it was so like flow statey, you know? I enjoyed this game a lot. Sekiro 2. Somebody better call him out for. Nobody getting. I would wish they had like a DLC. Honestly, the game is so enjoyable. I'm looking forward to the Elden Ring thing. I'm kind of a weird guy where I like some of the single player stuff because I'm very competitive with like other things, and I'm just like, when I want to chill, I just want to chill. Bum 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 bum. Let's check out some of these YouTube comments that I need to respond to. It's gotten to the point now to where I don't even respond to like any comments anymore. There's so many of them. Oh, today, by the way, today was my number one, or yesterday was my number one YouTube views video day ever.
Thanks for waiting.
Yeah, no problem. How you been?
Yeah.
All right.
Good. 2-year-olds wait for no one. So.
Naturally.
Yep.
All right, let's keep going.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, beautiful angle. Terrible timing. Again, a little bit of that bloodlust, that pulse bomb. You're going for montage clips, but again, what sets that pulse bomb better than good timing? You know, I don't know.
Oh, my ball does.
You know? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. And then obviously now it's like you're on the move when your ball is like your team is actually engaging here, and you're being chilling, you know. So
oh man, if I had just held that angle. Yeah.
Another cash in, I'll say. In other words, where you wrap around for an angle, you have an angle on the Ana and on the back line, but you're like, Cole.
yeah.
You ain't killing her, mate. And even if you were,
exactly.
if she's 1 HP, right? Just sit here and shoot the Ana. Shoot the Orisa.
I remember my thought process. I was like, surely if I shoot the Cole Moira, she'll aim at me instead of her team. But she's a Cole Moira and doesn't care about this.
Exactly. And it's cost you the double blinks as well. And then now it's your recall
and
as
the
well.
recall.
Yeah. Okay. There are several things about your tracer which are really good. There are several things about your tracer which are really bad. And that's good because it's specific, right? It's not broad. And I think that's going to be good for you. It's going to make things a little bit simpler for you to practice moving forward. Like, for example, not this.
Yep, that's bad.
That is bad. And then the other thing too is really you shouldn't be engaging at all right now, especially once you cleared that tracer. What should you be doing?
I could probably be just holding the angle, finding a better
and waiting
angle.
for
waiting for my tank.
Yep.
Because I don't have a tank right now.
So what's going to happen in the next 2 seconds? Predict it for me.
Well, their whole team is gonna shoot at me. Hopefully, I recall.
But that alone is not worth the price of admission.
I mean, yeah, that's not, because then if they push me, then I have to use my blinks and get out.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm glad this happened.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad that this was demonstrated very clearly.
Yes.
But yes, okay, let's keep going. It's such a shame because the angle was good. You won the mechanical duel too. You did everything right except the most important thing.
Good timing. Yeah.
Good timing. Tragedy.
Yeah.
I think this fight was a little bit lost, and obviously knowing the status of Moira Fade. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's keep watching. Now this is where some maps get hard because you're like,
Yeah, I felt like I just kind of got lost.
I think going through left here would be your best bet. So you go in through here, and then you drop in through here, and then you one clip the turret, and then blink the cover or recall back out again. Obviously turret, it sucks. I get it, right? But I think this is probably a better angle than where you are. I don't think what you're doing now though is too bad. Your Orisa is in, so you can shoot the tracer now. It feels like a stalemate, but you know, there are worse things that could be happening than stalemates, right? You're not losing the duel, right? And if you feel like I've been able to beat this tracer, and then the other thing too is like if the tracer, like look what happens, right? So you quote unquote stalemate with a tracer, but she actually she loses it a little bit, right? She gets a little bit greedy, she gets a recall force.
Well, she lets me kill the Ana.
Right, well, the problem is that she's messed up and she's disengaged, but she also, okay, watch this carefully. I want you to think about this from a strategic standpoint, right? Mr. Strategy Game Sense guy, right?
Sure.
You guys both trade recalls, but what's the difference between her status of blinks and your status of blinks, right?
Oh, she doesn't have any blinks.
And you have 1.5.
Oh, I wasn't tracking her blinks.
But you don't need to track her blinks, okay? That's not my point. My point is that through your better movement, better aim, whatever, maybe your Ana pocketed you better, I don't know, or your life weaver, whatever, you won the duel. So that means that she has to leave. So then she leaves, and then now what can you do with the flank?
Oh, I have more space.
Right, which then leads to...
I can chill and give myself more opportunities.
And which leads to this.
Yes.
Right? There you go. So my point being is that if you ever take an angle or flank and you run into a tracer, Don't necessarily think that, crap, I have to try another flank. Beat the Tracer in the duel, then take the flank once she leaves. Now, there are exceptions.
Oh, so if I'm in a 1v1 with another Tracer, if I just force her recall and all of her blinks, is that winning?
Yes.
Or do I need to? Okay.
Yeah, it's winning.
I feel like...
Because then let me ask you a question. Who is doing more after the duel? But she lost the duel, so look at what she does. You see?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Right? She lost her duel. Her hero is not very good when she's not on the angle or the flank. You on the angle or flank, so she used the angle. You used the angle or flank. She lost it, so she's stuck in her own backline. Now, there are exceptions. Like, let's say that there was like a Zenyatta or a Widowmaker that you really wanted to clip. You might try to find an angle where you avoid her, right? Or maybe you have the team with a Widowmaker and you're like, I'm going to protect my team, but I'm going to find their Tracer, right? That's fine too. But regardless, without overcomplicating it, this is the result. Nice job. Just get out. If you can. Maybe. Nice use of cover here. Nice. And now she's overextended to try and get the kill on you, so now she doesn't have recall. So she doesn't have recall, so she has to leave the flank. You see it again, right? She just got a recall back now, but it's too late. You've won the duel now, again. And so now what can you do from this flank? You see it? You see it? Now, was it worth it for you to... Let's look at the micro of this. Once you're here... First problem was the Moira, right? Think you lost the Ana. But even then, that's okay. Yeah. That's okay. Just keep spamming. Be careful because you don't have your recall. Probably not worth it. See, the thing is like sometimes you show up in big ways, and then sometimes you just feed. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I know. Yes.
You have the angle here. You don't have your recall. What should you be doing?
Just chilling on the angle.
Just chill on the angle. Maybe think about a health pack here. Is there a health pack over here? Surely. That's too far. Yeah, there's your mini here. You can also blink out this direction, but just chill here. You have your pulse on. Who can you stick here?
I mean, Torb's easy. I could stick the horse.
She doesn't have fortify.
She doesn't have fortify.
I would go for the
Orisa.
And
they don't have a Suzu either.
I would go for the Orisa or Torb here. You don't need to reach. Just hold the angle and spam. Or go for the Orisa or finish the Torb. But yeah, it's like it's such a tragedy because there's so many things that you're doing so well, and then you just completely toss the fight by overextending or forcing.
I know. Yeah.
But again, that should be very encouraging because it means you're doing so many things right.
Okay, cool.
Karma.
Right? I know.
You give me one, I give you one.
Yeah, I took the ego. Dude, I didn't use any blinks. I didn't.
Nah, it's okay. That's okay. It's okay. Okay, so let's tie this one up into a nice tidy bow here. So we've talked about a lot of things, but I want to be very specific and focused with what we do. You know, actually, do you have another replay code? Before they wipe, we might have or they already wiped. Are you in game still?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you generate a code? If not, it's okay.
Let me check out my history.
Because we have about 5 minutes. Even if we get like one or two more fights, I'm okay.
Oh, no, the update hit.
Crap. That's okay. We got enough. We finished the map. Okay, so like here's what we'll do is, okay, so remind me replay code review before we finish. So I'll tell you what we do the rest of our time. Okay. Tracer. What are you seeing as some skills that need to be practiced?
Let's see. Timing with tank or with DPS tank, even, right? Because maybe you're in plat, right? Not everything goes exactly as it needs to be going. So you can't rely on everything being perfect for you to have good timing. You just need to it needs to be good enough, okay? Just by far the most important thing. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. What else? Not leaving a good angle. Like recognizing trying to not leave an angle unless I see an opportunity that I know I can.
Yes. Beautiful.
That is already there, not like trying to predict an opportunity, but waiting to actually see it happen.
And then no recall. Can't pressure, but careful about too much aggression. That's it. I think one of the things that gets tossed around, let me know if you've heard this before, is Tracer, you should just focus on not dying.
Yes, all the
I
time.
think that is completely misleading, but is well intentioned, right? For you,
Yeah.
I would say focus on tank timing and you die less. For you, it's when you have a good off angle, don't blink in the middle of the enemy team unless you have a kill opportunity.
Yes,
That will help
yep,
you to die less.
yep.
When you don't have recall, keep pressuring. Don't pretend that you do have recall. That will prevent you from dying less, right? So we need to get at the source of why you're dying. Those are the sources. And they're not only sources of why you're dying, they're also sources of why you're not getting kills. Now, what was good? Mechanics. Definitely a strength of yours. I know coming from flex player background, but your training schedule is showing. You're doing a good, and also the fact that you've been playing mostly Tracer recently, your movement, mechanic, and by mechanics, I don't just mean your aim, right? Pretty good. Definitely a strength of yours. I would say not plat 5 mechanics. I would say high plat mechanics. Okay.
Nice.
The angles that you were taking, also good. You knew how to play the hero in terms of like taking flanks and things like that. Quite good. Pulse bombs, hit or miss, no pun intended. But they were not, I would say, a weakness. It is a very difficult ultimate. So definitely some very, very evident strengths and some definite, very evident weaknesses. So here's how you practice these. You pick one, you go into a couple of ranked games, maybe for a day, and you practice that skill for one day. Timing with tank. Tomorrow, I'm going to practice on not cashing in unless I see an opportunity for a kill and being patient. Day 3, no recall. I'm going to keep paying attention to whether I have recall or not and making decisions around that. Day 4, you go back to the first thing. Or you just do what you feel like. Maybe you're like, I like practicing a skill for 2 days in a row or 3 days in a row. Maybe one of my skills...
Usually what I like doing is I'll go through like one skill a day for like 4 or 5 days.
There you go.
And then on the next day, I just play for fun, chill, see what happens. Because I like to be able to tell because like if you're always practicing, you can't really see like your base skill improve.
Yes.
So it's good to have those reminders and check-ins of like, oh, I wouldn't have been able to do this before.
Right. I think 1 day a week, even 2 days a week, where you don't practice anything, you just play for fun. Yeah,
Yep.
I agree. And then overall, experimenting a little bit with a warm-up length. Don't forget that. That was the only not critique, but suggestion I'd have to try. Maybe you just experiment and you go, I like what I'm doing. Okay, but try it. Any questions?
No, I don't think so.
Replay review before we go off. So you get a free replay review. So you send me the code in a week from now, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, whenever you'd like, of a match where you felt like I wasn't sure exactly what to do. Do you have any suggestions? Give me, because we've called it a little bit earlier today,